Hello, my name is Darren Thomas. I'm the Director of Educational Research Techniques. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at vectors again. We're going to look at how to make character vectors and also how to name items inside data frames or inside a vector. So as you can see, I'm already inside RStudio. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make a good old-fashioned character vector. Now, a character vector is obviously a vector that contains text rather than numbers or Boolean logic. So we're going to make our first example. We're going to call it example. Example 1. And we're going to do something really basic. Just put the quotes and put hello. And so this is our first character vector. And if you want to see what it looks like, we just go down to the console, type example 1. And voila, it prints what is exactly inside the vector, the word hello. Not very complicated. However, there's more. You can also naturally put more than one word or more than one character inside a vector. So we'll do example 2 here. But this time we have to use the concatenate function, which is a C. And we're going to put in here hello, which is what we put last time. But then we're going to put a comma and put something separate, hello world. And then we press enter. And so if we want to see what that looks like, there you go. Oh, we put the word hello there. Sorry, excuse me. So we put that, and then now you can see we have hello and world. So that is how you can put more than one character or put more than one word inside a vector. You have to make sure you use the quotes. If you don't use the quotes, you'll get an error message. We can also figure out, the length of our character vector. So the length of example 1, how long is it? Whoops. And then of course R will tell us. So 1, in other words, there was one string in here or one character, one full character as captured by the 2 quotation marks. For example 2, it'll be of course the number 2, as you can see right there in the printout. And we can also count the number of characters. So this is like the individual letters inside the actual item. So for example 1, it was 5. If you count the letters in hello, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, you can do this also with example 2. And you can see here we have 2 separate numbers, 5 and 5, because the word hello contains 5 letters and the word world contains 5 letters. Now, another really cool thing that you can do is you can extract specific items from a character vector, just like with a numerical vector. So we're going to use the built-in data set or the built-in vector called letters to do this. And so letters is, shows you the whole alphabet. And let's just say I want to know, let's say the 22nd letter, or we'll just say the second letter of the alphabet. So to do that, I type in letters, which is the name of the vector, and then I use the brackets. The brackets is next to the letter P on your keyboard. I put in the number 2, and I press Control Enter, and it tells me that the second item, from inside the letters vector is the letter B. Now, if I want to know several letters at once, let's say I want to get a range, I can do something as simple as type this in, then put a colon, and then put like whatever number you want. So now I want to know what are the items 2 through 5 in the vector called letters. And so then I press Control Enter, and then it tells me right there B, C, D, and E, which makes complete sense. So you can see there's lots of fun things you can do here. Moving on, you can also give your vectors names, create and assign vectors that have names. So this is a little bit more complicated. Up here at the top, I'm going to go back up here to the top. I don't need to see this for right now. You can see here that we have some information here. Sue.cells, Jenny.cells is what we have so far. And so what we need to do is we need to try to find a way that we can put all this inside a specific vector. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create some variables here that are going to help us out. So we're going to do total. And for this, we just want to know the sum of Sue.cells. So we want to add together all the values for Sue.cells. That's our goal right now. And so we press Control Enter. And then if you want to know what the total is, just go down to the console, type it in, 28. And now we want to repeat this process, but this time for Jenny. And so what our goal is that we want to have one vector where we have the total for Sue and the total for Jenny. That's what we're trying to do right now. So I do this, I make my variable sum.jenny.sales, press enter here, and then if you want to know what it is, 41. Now, almost done. Now we need to make a vector where we combine these two values. So we're going to call it sales, and we're going to use the concatenate function again. That's the lowercase c. Put the parentheses, and we want to combine Sue.total, comma, Jenny.total. That's what we're doing. Notice how we don't use the quotation marks. That's because we're not trying to create a character vector. Instead, what we're telling R to do is take the values for the variable Sue.total and Jenny.total, put them together inside one object or one vector called sales. That's what we're doing here. Okay, so that's done. And now the last thing is we have to give our new object names inside the actual vector. But just so you know why, if we look at sales, you see I have two numbers here, but I don't know who the numbers belong to. We know the 28 belongs to Sue, and we know the 41 belongs to Jenny. However, if you look closely, it does not tell us that. We have to give R more information. So what we need to do is we need to use the names function. And the names function allows you to name rows inside a vector, rows inside a data set, or data frame, if you will. And so we use the names, and we're using it on the object called sales because we just created that. And so now we have to tell R what names do we want to give it. And so we want to use two names. Whenever you want to do more than one, you have to use the concatenate function. So put this, the lowercase c, the parentheses. Now we're making characters, so we have to use our quotation marks this time. So for the first one, we put Sue because that's what we want to name the first little row here for 28. Then we do comma, and then we do Jenny for the second one. And that's how it should be. Now we press enter. All right. And then we just look at sales one more time. And you can see right there, you can see the difference. Now we have the name Sue in 28, and we have the name Jenny in 41, which is exactly what we wanted. Remember beforehand, we just had two numbers. Now we know who the numbers belong to. And that's the power of being able to understand how to use characters when either making a character vector or when you're trying to give names to individual rows inside a vector. So in this video today, we took a look at character vectors and how they look. I showed you how to index particular items inside an actual character vector, how to make a character vector, calculate the length and the number of characters, how to make a character vector that has multiple separate words. And we also looked at how to create a vector where you actually give names to individual rows. So I hope that this video was useful for you and that you're able to use these skills as you explore R programming and also RStudio. Thank you for listening.